So we got the house right here, little pooch. And we got these two dead ones looming over the house. And a third one over there. So we definitely don't want a side break. We got a GRCS set up down below where Brandon's at. I'm gonna try to pull that big one off that way. Now the question is, do we pull the little one first? Because if that side branch up there, somehow taps this thing, it's gonna send it this way. But I think we can put a side keeper rope on this one up here so that it can't break this way. And oh yeah, it's not that one we're doing, it's this other one over here. Yeah. No, this one, this dead one. That one's the neighbor's over there, I think. All right. Well, it looks pretty looming from the house. Here's a butternut with butternut canker. Killing all the butternuts everywhere. Carvers love this. It's of course related to walnut. But you can see what these cankers do. Kind of destroy the tree. Eventually they girdle it. So here we are. There's the trees. That one and that one. And we got to keep them on the hillside. Okay, here we are at the top. There's our tree. There's that other one. So from here we could tag that. We could tag it. Oh, let's walk uphill a little bit. We don't want to tag that. I think we're gonna pull this one first. And that one is probably an easy drop. Let's look over here. I mean, we got one shot here, folks. We don't want to wreck it. I think if we pull this one this way, yeah. Where's our anchor point? Okay, we could pull it right to this tree and all the way down to the GRCS. Brandon, I think we're gonna pull this little one first.
That one?
I don't want this one tagging it and sending it to the house.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
So we're better off just to get it out of the way. I can pull this little, what is it, a little elm or something. I can pull out of the way a little bit, get a clean shot. By the time it comes in contact with this other little oak, it'll be uphill leaning enough that it'll come over. But yeah, I think that'll be the best. Okay, so Brandon's coming up with a pole line. We get this pole line right here through this little micro block. Goes up into that tree. So we're going to pull that one over first. And then it'll just sort of crash down in here. then we don't have to worry about this one tagging it. I'd hate for that branch out there to tag that and send it to the house. That'd be crazy, but totally plausible. This one here, we were gonna do 3 fellings. You know, he was waffling on the price. We took this one off, but you know, if this goes well, we'll probably do a value added for him here and get this one out of here too. You know, but first thing the client says to me this morning is, "Are you as nervous as I am?" I thought about saying, "How's the price look now?" Because that's the kind of pressure we deal with every day. So at any rate, I didn't say that. But yeah, you know, this is high tension work. We got 1 shot, 1 kill. And we got to do it right the first time. And so we best take our precautions. Now on this big one, once I get this, we've got 2 ropes here. We've got a short rigging rope and we got a long one. So the long one will reach on this big pole, but the short one I'm going to set to an alternative side tension point over here. Let me show over here, and have a side rope coming this way, so that'll, if it wants to, and we might take out that tree on the way. I didn't think of that. That side rope will wrap that tree and probably fracture it. I'll have to think that through if I want that to happen, or if I want to just get this one out of the way before I do that. But we've got room this way, so if that side rope comes across that tree, it'll pull my tree this way versus towards the house. So anyways, lots to think about here. Felling in the forest, but we'll play it by ear. I kind of want a side pull on this bad boy because I don't want it to go to the house. Okay, crank her up, Brandon. I'll tell you when to quit. It's probably good. All right, let's go set up the fall. So now we have a spring pole, folks. That basswood is totally bent. All right, when you have a spring pole like this, we've got a lot of tension there. If you touch a saw to the back of this spring pole, it'll explode in your face. So you don't want to touch here. What you want to do is relieve the pressure under here. Now we can do kind of a C cut, like just kind of just sort of shave stuff out of here. We can make short little shallow cuts. Now you got to be careful. You go too deep and that's going to immediately pinch your saw. So kind of like shaving stuff out of there is a good way to do this. If we go out there and cut out there, the whole thing could spring really rapidly up. If we cut down here, now it's already cracked here a little bit. This could be a real violent explosion in front of your face. So you want to kind of go to the middle of the pole and start shaving this out here. And I'll walk around and I'll do it from the back side so you can kind of see it. Kind of got a fracture here, so I'm going to kind of work. So you can see that had just a ton of tension. So you want to stay out of the way of it. You know, you could have stayed out of the way and tried to just do it right from the back, but it would have been a very violent jump. Even with all that relief cutting, it still moved a good 18 inches. So when you're dealing with a spring pole, you gotta, you know, just use caution, take your time. there's another day. All right. Game of trees. We're having fun. So we did our plunge cuts. They were a little offset. And then we put our wedges in. And then we made the back cut a little below that. And it just broke free. We had a little more hinge on this side, which I didn't want it to go the other way, so that was kind of by design. And she hinged right over and rolled off those branches up there. And so you probably saw on the film it twist and turn, but that was from those upper branches. So laid her down there in a good spot. So now this is out of the way. What we're gonna do, this line here, we're gonna set up on a side pole over there, maybe on that little ironwood. Maybe we'll go around the oak. And that'll give us a side pull. And I didn't want that sideline coming across this tree and, you know, pulling it down which way. So we got that on the ground. That's a bonus for the client. And now we can set up this with a trucker's hitch and get some, not really side pull, but at least if somehow my hinge gets punky. These are 4-year dead trees. And we've got that big lead out towards the house. And I wouldn't want side weight to take that, but the house is within reach. So we've got 16,000 pound, 14,000 pound line is going to be pulling this way. And you see how I got my bowline tied up there? If you blow that up, we'll blow that up. So the way I've got that tied, it's side choking it, and it goes around the trunk. So if the tree were to try to break, the bend ratio on that line is really wide. We aren't bending it on that knot, on a choke. The bend ratio goes all the way around the limb. And so that gives us, you know, the bulk of the majority of the strength of our rope is in that. So that tree will ride my side rope down if my hinge doesn't hold. So, game of trees. We're thinking through all the possible scenarios. We got a big felling here on a side hill over a house. Got to do it right. Let's see how it goes. The leg lock method of starting. Chain brake on. Choke on. You don't have to start this on the ground. I'm also not that deep. I went a little deeper. You see I made a second cut. It's because we have this narrow part out here, and I wanted to get back into this bigger wood. Otherwise I would have had a real short hinge on something I didn't want to go this way. So I wanted corner over here. I didn't want a really short corner here. So we went deeper in, and I'm shallow enough that if I line this up and I'm not quite on, which I am on. So I'm shallow enough I could go deeper if I wanted to. But I think we're good. And now I think I'll make a plunge cut because we do have tension on it with the GRCS, so I want to do a plunge cut. you guys down here. That'll be a little close for comfort. The tripod's almost as much as my phone. Get you set up back here. Now we don't have to drive those in because we have the GRCS on it. I definitely don't want to drive this one. And I've got enough bar. Are you ready, Brandon? Brandon's camera might have got the drop, but you guys got the hinge. Well, we took the top off of that poor guy. Couldn't quite get by it. Maybe we'll leave it. It'll grow. But it's safely down. We had a little shrapnel over there towards the edge, but nothing in the lawn. Stayed towards the woods. Look at that big spear. One big one speared in the ground. Where is it? Right there. It's a good drop. It's a good hinge. Good holding wood. Never threatened to break. Our rope rode down. See, we would have come across that other stump. So, did you get it drop? Brandon got the drop. All right, good job, Brandon. So, again, look at this cutting below, just below. This will break out. But if you're below, you know, my bar was in a kerf. Now, if you're on the reverse side of that, that kerf could break away and take your saw with, and my saw would be over there somewhere. $1,200, $1,500, $1,800. I don't know, the prices are going up quick. But when you're below, it just breaks away and your saw stays there. So, it's a good stump. You learn a lot with the stump. Pretty good hinge, a little more hinge on the back side than the weak side where we didn't want it to go. So it's a good job. We're clear to pack up. All right, game of trees. We're having fun. This was a good drop. A lot of good felling examples here. So hopefully you liked it. Like and subscribe. And don't forget about our other channel where we put the real stuff. Take care.